Clue the Canadian Gimp, everyone!
Living in a shell now that's weak when I was strong, that will degrade each year that I...
Well, howdy doody there, folks. How's everyone doing on this fine Saturday night? That's two positive people. Yeah, that's a good start. All right. A little bit about myself. I hold 3 hobbies and 3 hobbies only. One is a very delicate dance. I grow Venus flytraps. And it is quite difficult. My second hobby is I try not to fall down. My third hobby is obviously my most important. I dedicate a lot of my time to it. Staying off my wife's shit list. So my wife and I have been together we're going on 31 years in just a couple of months. Thank you, you're very, very, very kind audience. I do appreciate that. And a lot of people ask me to say, well, how do you guys last that long? What's the secret? There truly is no secret. It's simple. What's mine is hers, and what's hers is hers. Nobody should ever change that. But being married for over 30 years, I will promise you, it has been the greatest 20 years of my life. And my wife loves to surprise me, and this is very important also. A couple of weeks ago, she comes out of the shower wearing a little Japanese-style kimono, and she goes, hey honey, look at this. And she swings her house coat open. She goes, well, what do you think? She says, brand new look, same great taste. She shaved. Oh my good Lord, she shaved. I was surprised. But the one thing I've learned about it, eat it then, eat it there, because tomorrow it's going to taste like cactus. You guys are absolutely terrible. And the good part is, even after all this time together, I know my wife still finds me attractive. Whenever the boys come home for a visit, I'll walk by her, and she'll look at my boys and she'll, what an ass. And last week, I wouldn't speak to my wife for 3 days. Not because I'm immature, and not because I'm rude. I just didn't want to interrupt her. And I asked my wife, I said, am I the only one that you have ever been with? She says, yes, dear, you're the only one I've ever been with. Everybody else were 9s and 10s. I'm at the point in my relationship now where I find myself begging for sex. And apparently I bothered her so much a while back that she just turned around, very frustrated, looked at me, she says, oh, go ahead, she says, piss on it. And I thought, well, that's a strange request. So it took us a week before we started talking to each other again. The other morning I got out of bed. I didn't even have half a cup of coffee in me. And I started telling some very, very sketchy jokes. Man, I got the beating of a lifetime. And the longer that my wife and I are together, the more I fall in love with her. You know, it's up to the point now where every day I just want to count the wrinkles on her stink star. I've been a member of Husbands Anonymous for 6 years, and I've received my 6-year medal. I haven't made a decision in 6 years. My wife went to the dentist 2 months ago. And she went and got her teeth cleaned. And after it was done, she was at the counter, and there's always something to pay after your insurance kicks in. And the hygienist pulls me aside and says, my God, sir, are your wife's teeth ever white? I said, I know. I said, they're the whitest ones I've ever come across.
Whitest ones I've come across.
And then I asked my wife one time, I says, honey, why did you marry me? I'm curious. And she looks at me, she says, honey, you're hilarious. She says, you make me laugh so hard. I said, well, I thought it was because I was charming and good looking. She says, see? There you go. And for any of you ladies out there who have children, most of you in here look way too young for that, but it's going to happen. When they leave your house and you think you have empty nest syndrome, just remember this. As long as you have a husband, you are not without children. And I recently installed strobe lights in my bedroom. Sex is the same. She just looks like she's moving.
Like what?
That she's moving. Sex is the same, but she's moving.
And a lot of people have trouble sleeping. Are you okay, John?
No.
That's my buddy John. That's my cousin Francie. And a lot of people have trouble falling asleep at night, eh? Not my girl. She can fall asleep at the drop of my pants. I remember the first time my wife and I had sex. I don't know where it came from, but I accidentally blurted it out loud. No matter how hard I pump, I just can't feel this thing. Gentlemen, if your wife starts an argument with you, just start slowly undressing. Undress yourself. She'll get a headache and suddenly want to be left alone. With my disease, if anybody here has ever had a dehydration cramp, a runner's cramp, or what do we call it? A muscle spasm, a Charlie horse. If I do too much, if I don't hydrate enough, multiply that by 10. Okay? So I have to be very, very careful when my wife and I make love. And not all that long ago, we made love, and with all the screaming and the thrashing around in the bedroom, she didn't realize I had finished 10 minutes earlier. It looked like a fucking murder scene.
You animal.
And women complain, eh? Like, you men come too fast. Yeah? Well, you never say that when you're giving us a blowjob. And come on, honestly, masturbation, that's a touchy subject. As to where oral sex, well, that's a matter of taste. Take this one. Not all that well, about 10 or so years ago, I had a sex change. I went from a lot to none. What do you call a blind gynecologist? A lip reader. I need a mic stand for this one, hang on. I am sorry about this. All right, picture if you will. World War II. So you got a trench out on the front line. Poor Canadian soldiers in there, and he's getting just bombarded to piss. They're dropping everything on him. They're dropping shells. They're dropping mortars. They're throwing hand grenades. They're dropping sea gas on him. And he's stuck in his trench alone. He says, "Oh my God, what am I going to do?" He gets up, looks around. Holy shit, there's another trench over there, 50 feet away. I can make it. So he hops out of this trench with his trusty rifle in hand, and he takes off running. He's hopping, falling, rolling, flipping, makes it into the trench. He's exasperated. Oh, he's so out of breath. And then he looks up, and here's this great, big native staring down at him. And the soldier's like, holy shit. And then he looks over and he notices that the patch is a Canadian patch. So he looks at him and says, hey man, he says, what's your regiment? Native looks at him and he goes, Guy says, oh shit, doesn't speak English. I know what I'll do. I'll try using hand language like they did in the old Roy Rogers movies. So he looks at the native, he goes, touches the native's patch, touches his own patch. He goes, you and me, we're brothers. Native looks at him, brother. He goes, okay, cool, so who are you with? He stops himself. He goes, I know. He says, are you infantry? Foot soldier? And he looks at him like that. He says, I know. He says, you're a paratrooper, right? Airborne? Paratroop? Dave kind of cocks an eyebrow, looks at him. He says, artillery, boom, boom, big guns. Native turns blue pale. And the soldier looks at him and says, are you an observer? Native up out of that trench, gone through the woods, screaming and yelling, dives into a river, ends up 2 miles upstream. He's being brought up on charges, for desertion. Chief of his clan comes in, he's the one who confronts him, and he tells him, young brave, charges white man bring against you, very serious. You tell Chief what has happened. I do not speak like white man, do not speak with snake tongue. Native looks at him and says, well, Chief, I stand in my home. He said, I fight for my land. He says, then, white soldier jumped in, and he tell me, we wear same color. We are brothers. I say, yes, brothers. And then Chief, crazy white man looked at me, he says, young brave, tonight when the sun goes down and everybody leaves, I'm gonna fuck you up the ass till your eyes pop out.
Holy fuck.
And you young lady, what's your name? No, you, yes, you. Yeah.
Sylvie.
Sylvie, comment ça va, Sylvie?
Ça va bien.
Okay. Tell me, Sylvie, what do you think? Nice socks, eh? Des belles bas. Attends, bon, ok, ça. Ok, on va essayer encore une
C'était
fois.
quoi la question? C'était quoi la question?
Attends, bon, bien.
Ben oui, ben on
Ok,
va répéter.
dis moi non, son opinion de ça.
Ça veut dire que soit t'as envie de pisser ou ben donc t'as mal au gars.
Hein? C'est des belles bonnes, hein?
C'est bas! C'est bas!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's my time. Oh, I love you guys. I'm going to leave you with this one thought. Big or small, thick or thin, Vaseline will get it in.
Thank you.